All right. Well, welcome everybody to 7 steps on how to make 100K for your Airbnb or hotel from social media. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this. This shouldn't be more than an hour, and I promise it's jam-packed with information. Let's get right to it. A couple of housekeeping items before we dive in. The goal of this is to help you get people to love your Airbnb or hotel through social media. 10x your Instagram following by creating content that demands attention. You're going to learn how to use the best marketing channel in the world to drive bookings and turn that Instagram traffic into bookings. We're going to cover a ton in this session. You may want to rewatch the recording at 1.5x to 2x speed or reread the slides. After this session is over, you'll get an email with the slides and the recording that you can reference at any time. Stay until the end for a new offer. I am rolling out a new offer. I've never rolled this out before. And since you spent the time to watch this webinar and watch me blabber on, you'll get a discount. And you will also get my direct email address at the end of this training. I recommend that if you have any questions, use it. If you don't have a typical Airbnb or hotel, but you do have glamping, a glamping unit, a boutique hotel, a campground, or what else you've come up with, this will also work for you. All right, let's get started. There's no question that how to get direct bookings is the #1 most talked about topic in the short-term rental industry. I believe this is the case because it's exciting. It's a new concept. It seems sustainable. Direct booking seems sustainable because it's building your own business, and it seems uber profitable. But nobody teaches how to get direct bookings from the internet. If you want to learn how to find a good property, finance it, design it, launch it on OTAs, use it to buy another, you can probably find 5 people showing you how to do that, and they're all great. But marketing, this isn't taught in short-term rental school, but it's the most sought out conversation in the direct booking conversation. That's why I started Law Social. I'll just put it like that. It's the most sought out thing because nobody understands it. And that's also why I created this training. Today, you will learn the 7 steps to make $100,000 for Airbnb or hotel from social media in 2026. If that's what you signed up for, you're in the right place. Here are the 7 steps. Step number 1, identify your perfect guest. Step number 2, set a budget. Step number 3, get attention. Step number 4, create a lead generator. Step number 5, send emails, which is the most transactional marketing channel. Step number 6, run meta ads. Step number 7, work with influencers. A couple notes about me just for credentials sake. My name is Scott Quinnell. It's pronounced Quinnell. Don't know why we ever added the S, but it's there. I'm the owner of a 6-figure direct booking agency and the writer of The Lodge Social. And at the time, it's January 16th. 6,500 people have subscribed to the writer or to The Lodge Social, and the agency gets an average of 4x return on investment. Some accomplishments: we've achieved 64.7K in additional revenue within the first 45 days of working with a client. 100% increase in Instagram followers within the first 30 days of working with another client. And then another one got 11x increase in the first 90 days. And no, they did not just start at 0. And we got them 11 followers. No, the math wasn't that simple. We've been featured in 2 magazines, made a 3-to-1 return on ad spend within the first month 3 times in a row. And 60% of last year's bookings for a client came from social media. The year before that, it was 0%. And to date, we've gotten over 10 million lifetime views. If you think marketing is some magical skill set, it's not. It's actually pretty straightforward. What it can do for you if you follow the right steps, that's a little closer to magic. I would know. At 20 years old, I dropped out of college with no backup plan. My dream career was to become a personal trainer and make a lot of money doing it. 2 years into this career, I quickly learned that the money in business was made by being online. So the theory was I would do workouts. This was when like online PT was kind of booming, so everybody and their mother was going to the gym and recording themselves lifting. I feel like that trend has kind of died off. I don't see as many cameras in the gym, but the theory was do workouts, post them, and then help people do the same. The concept seemed almost trendy and lame. Later, I would realize this was just marketing. If I needed to be online, I needed to understand social media. This is when I learned about Facebook ads. So Facebook ads was the first marketing skill I ever learned. I liked the skill more than personal training and eventually became a full-time advertiser to many industries and left personal training. Even still, I was an advertiser, completely blind to the full idea of marketing. I used to think that marketing was creating social media videos, running ads, writing blogs, LinkedIn posts, and doing all of that separate from one another. The truth, marketing is just talking about your brand in different ways and finding people who will listen. Facebook ads, social media, blog, PR, Google ads, OTAs, these are all different channels that people search for the stuff that you sell. And they are all ways to find people who will listen to you talking about your brand. There are many ways to talk about your brand. In order to do it right, you need to identify your one customer. Da-da-da-da. Welcome to step one. How to identify your one customer. Let's dive in. A lot of short-term rental operators are scared to tell people who their stay is for, fear that if they exclude the majority population, they'll lose business. But in our market, but our market is crowded and best listing wins doesn't work anymore. That's why I'd imagine, I don't remember the exact year. It was kind of recent, also not that recent. Airbnb added these categories. Guests are aware of their options and now know what they like. Their interests are getting deeper, not wider. Therefore, speaking to everyone is speaking to no one. If you don't know who you're talking to, then no one will listen. Think less about which marketing tactic will drive bookings and more about who should be the ones to book. So do this. Go back to the old you. You probably bought the rental for a specific reason. You liked the lakeside. You liked the mountain view. You liked the proximity to the general area. So take those aspects and try to turn that into a list of thoughts. Turn that list of thoughts into a marketing message. One big question I get is like, what if it impacts my bookings? You can always go back. This is not a zero-sum thing. You can always try this for 3 months, and then for the remaining 9 months in a year, you can go back to how things were. But I don't think you'll go back. 2 ways to pick your avatar. Option 1, the one that I briefly just touched on, you can turn the reason you like your property into a marketing message. So maybe it's a hub for somebody who likes the outdoors, or it's a great family getaway. You can also read reviews. If you're still confused, reviews are a dead giveaway. Guests will drop keywords like stayed with my family, family retreat, couples getaway, so on and so forth. And don't get too specific. So don't define your avatar as like dads who like the outside with 2 daughters and grill. Like that's way too specific. Families from Nashville or dads from Nashville would be good enough. Actually, dads from Nashville would probably even be too specific. So just go families from Nashville. Except they're a dad, they probably got a family. Option 2, pick one of my favorites. My favorite avatars are couples, families, niche ideas, and a couple of niche idea examples are wellness day and themes. So Christmas, Hobbit, Star Wars. And if it makes sense for your stay, couples are a good avatar to start with. And then you can always expand. Okay. Step 2, set a budget. I do not have a framework for this. I only have a simple answer so we can blow through this part and move on. How much should you spend on marketing? Oh, technical errors. It depends. I think 10 to 25% of profit or 10% of revenue is a good place to start. And whether which one you pick all depends on your financial situation. That's my rule of thumb. And then I would recommend reassessing quarterly or even monthly if you really want to get into the details to make sure that that investment is producing more money that you can either turn into a higher monthly marketing budget or keep the marketing budget the same and, you know, pocket what you made. Okay. Moving on to step 3, get thousands of people to give you attention. Our first batch of content looked like an HGTV highlight reel. Our videos would focus on the rooms, deck, kitchen amenities, and coffee machine. And if you can't see this meme, I think it's hilarious. If you've ever seen HGTV, this is how it is. HGTV be like, I glue leaves back on trees in the fall, and my wife makes stilettos for cats. Our budget is $1.2 million. Millennials. They didn't suck, but they didn't do well. We soon realized the house is not what sells. It's the experience. Here's what I mean. Don't show the grill, show an actor making a healthy barbecue dinner. Don't show the beach, show an actor taking in the sun near their Airbnb for the weekend. No one wants to sit by the fire pit. They want to enjoy s'mores, laughter, beer under the stars. So show that stuff. Here's what doesn't sell: the stay, amenities, square footage, something about a Ring camera, the specs. This stuff doesn't sell. What does sell? The idea of living a perfect life. So here's how to get attention on social media. There are 2 shots you want to get: standalone videos of your property and people experiencing the stay. A couple quick notes before you pull out your phone, your camera, your drone, and hit record. Each clip should be 15 to 20 seconds. There are 2 golden hours per day. In the summertime, it's 6 to 9 a.m. In the wintertime, it's 8 to 10, depending where the tree line is. And then in the evenings, in the summer, it's early. It's 4 to 9 p.m. And then in the winter, it's 3 to 4:30 or something like that. Shoot during one or both. Instagram Reels are vertical, so shoot vertical. We used to point the camera at everything that moved. I remember we did a shoot where we genuinely caught the birds. I have videos of birds in a bird feeder. Stupid. This made shoots last 8+ hours. Now we complete a quality shoot in 4 hours or less because we follow what we've created as the Lodge Social shot list. Once you get these slides in about 45 minutes time, you can download it by clicking this link. And I made a guide through my newsletter, the Lodge Social, here. And I'm going to walk through the shot list in a moment. I'm going to describe each shot type and provide some visuals so you have somewhere to start. So here's shot type number 1, showing it. Showing it shots are standalone videos of your property. There are no actors. The property is the center of attention. You'll want to make sure that you use drones to capture the property at large if you can, and then focus primarily on premium amenities and the outdoors. Think back to when you first bought the property. What were the 5 to 10 things that drew your attention first? Were it the views, the design of the house, the lakeside aspect, the sun direction? Like, do you have sun for most of the day? Proximity to the beach. Like, if you throw a drone 100 feet in the air, can you see the beach? Was it even a cool rock? Do you like rocks and there's a cool rock in the backyard? That's the stuff you want to capture. It's the stuff that you like, because that's a great place to start, right? Like, if you bought a house because of a couple specific aspects, it's got to mean you liked it enough to buy a house, and the likelihood that other people will also like it is pretty high. So here's the showing it drone shots. I'll just walk through a couple, and I'm going to preface this whole thing by saying this leaves room for creative wiggle room. This is not a one-size-fits-all shot list, because I understand that every property is different, kind of like our fingerprints. And so this just gives you like a basic, here's what the shot, like, here's kind of what the shot should look like. But obviously, like, some people have houses in the middle of the woods, and an aerial view of the entire property from 300 feet in the air is just not probably going to look that great. And so, use your brain and think like, all right, I kind of lose the house for the most part after I get above 50 feet in the air. So that's why we don't get too specific. We want to leave room for creative wiggle room. And so that was I guess I just went through it. The wide establishing shot is an aerial view of the entire property and surroundings. Top down view is kind of the same, but just directly over the house. And then, you do like a little circle with the drone, get some sort of movement. We'll go over movements in a second. 360 view is you set your drone in the air, 150 feet, 250 feet, again, depending on your property, and just do a big circle. Then you have your approach shot. That essentially means have drone in air, press forward, pull away shot, have drone in air, pull back. And then you have the golden hour shot. So at peak sunset, right before the sun disappears over the horizon, you get the sun in the horizon and the property, if you can. And then you have the non-drone shots. This is the stuff that you can use your iPhone for. If you do have a camera, you can use your camera. But just, whip out your iPhone and you can capture this stuff. So entering the property, so opening the front door or multiple doors if you have multiple. Landscape and outdoors. So if you have a dock, fire pit, patio, grill, garden, firewood pile, beach views, whatever, kind of the picturesque things, capture that. General living areas. So living room, kitchen, people want to know what it looks like. Kitchen, bedrooms, bathrooms, special interior features, and property name sign if you have one. Okay. The hardest part of a content shoot is getting the right movements. I shared a couple of movements here. I'll just give you an example. And again, you'll get all these slides in 42 minutes time. And so you can feel free to just use these however you see fit. So this just gives a visual representation of the drone movement. So 45 degree, this is your house. This is a 45-degree angle. Have the drone follow this line. Do another one. I'm not going to do static because that one's easy. Put drone in air and don't move. What's orbit? So orbit is like that 360 shot. So have the drone. Obviously, you can't go underground. So just imagine this is the roof. Have the drone do a half circle, or if you can complete a full circle, do that. Oh, non-drone movements. Let's do. So push in, push out. So imagine you have your iPhone, walk towards house, walk backwards from house. And then pan is you have your phone. I'm going to make sure I can see me. I think I can see me. Do this. Just like that. Next step. Here's what to do next. Make a copy of the large social shot list. Pick a shot from the list. Get that shot using all the movements and continue until the list is done. Make a copy of the large social shot list so you can, cross it off or make notes or make adjustments if a shot is not super relevant to your property because you're buried in the forest or whatever. Shot type number 2, experiencing it. You will need actors for these. The best short-term rental ads show people experiencing the stay because people doing fun things make other people want to do fun things. What you need to know about actors. I will say it so you don't have to. They should be good looking. What that means is up to you. Most friends will help for beer or food. Make sure that they smile. Make sure that they smile. The beer helps with that. It just makes sure that they smile. Again, we're trying to capture the perfect life. And you know what I mean? Come on. Dress for the occasion, no sweatpants. What to do if you don't have access to actors? Ask someone. There are people everywhere, and I guarantee you know people. You either know someone at your office, your neighbor who walks their dog at the same time as you, a regular face at the coffee shop, that gym bro from the sauna, the mailman, your kids' kids, your kids' friends, your kids' friends, their cousins. You have options. These are just, it took me 15 seconds to riff these off. I say all this to say Getting a good actor could be the difference between making an ad working and not. 10 grand in bookings or nothing. 100K a year social media strategy, which could be an extra vacation or two per year. Most important, this could be the difference between joy or sadness. Is making an uncomfortable ask worth that? I think so. You want to make sure the actors are experiencing your stay in the most desirable way possible. Hang on. I have a story about this. Last weekend, my buddy is talking to a girl, right? I was talking to a girl and I had a shoot. I had to go do a shoot and the rest of my team was busy and I just needed a couple actors. This was a micro shoot because we had oogles of content. And so if we, for example, missed if the actor wasn't that great, that's fine because we had like 10 more actors that we could fit into these videos. And so 2 months ago, maybe not even 2 months, I had no idea who this girl was. 2 months later, she's on a shoot with me, all because I asked. And I had my team look at the footage I got, and it's probably going to make it into some of our top ads. Is an uncomfortable ask worth that? I think so. All right. Anyways, you want to make sure that actors are experiencing your stay in the most desirable way possible. Here's how to create a desirable experience. People are always striving to improve three key areas of their life: health, wealth, relationships. Your content should show actors maximizing those three key areas. Here are some examples of health. Have the actor cook with bright and colorful foods. Do the best 1 to 3 outdoor activities near your stay: hiking, boating, bonfire. So if you have no ideas, there's 3. Be outside and do other things that would make people smile or feel good: hiking, boating, bonfire, eat healthy food, drive with the windows down, go on a bike ride, go to the beach. Options are endless. Wealth. Think of the status symbols people will spend money on to improve their look and feel. So everybody wants to look good, dress nice. Don't show the actors arriving to the property in shitbox Hot Wheels. Have it be decent looking. Get a car wash if you're in the middle of nowhere and you kick up some mud every now and then. Get a car wash, just like, I don't feel like I need to expand on that. Just, you know what I'm saying. Relationships. If your stay is for couples, they should look in love. If your stay is for families, they should look happy. Bonus, go back to the doing fun things because kids are kind of just bad actors. But if you send them to do something fun, they'll completely ignore the camera. Most people don't travel alone. Have 2 or more actors at once just to have them. Okay, here are some experiencing it drone shots. Bonfire shot, so have the drone just move about as people are having a bonfire. 50-foot shot, so have the drone just follow people around the property no more than 50 feet in the air. Landscape and outdoor shot. If you have a hot tub, sauna, fire pit, patio, have the drone just capture those moments just a little bit higher in the air than you can reach with an iPhone. Non-drone shots. Follow the actors showing up to the property, cooking, relaxing in your lounging areas, and doing outdoor activities. Here are a couple last notes about capturing content. Take your time, especially if you've never done this before. 80% of the shoots we've rushed, we had to redo due to obvious missed shots. And so now it's just like, I would rather stay a day at a place just to avoid going back because it costs me way more to go back. Drones are not required but recommended. If you do not want to fly one or buy one, I would just recommend hiring somebody for 2 hours of their time. You can find drone operators everywhere. iPhones do work great for non-drone shots. Turn on all the lights inside. This lesson cost me $2,500 to learn. Show the amenities in use. So if you're capturing the hot tub, start the jets. If you're showing the grill, just don't just show the grill, like have something cooking on it, specifically a light colored food. And then whatever you capture, post it. The best way to improve and try again. All right, let me get some water quick. Step 4, capture attention with lead generators. Most rental operators give guests 2 choices when they visit their website. Choice number 1, book. Choice number 2, leave. We call those missed opportunities. You've worked so hard to spark their desire to book and only to let them leave because they aren't ready to book yet. Okay, let me expand on that. Bookings are expensive, and so not everybody is ready to, fudge up that much money when they're kind of shopping around. People shop around when it comes to Airbnbs and hotels, and so expecting somebody to book or leave and then remember you that's just setting you up for failure. And so there's another way to keep their attention. That's really what we're striving for, is to keep the attention, because one way or another you're paying to capture it, and so you might as well drag that dollar out as far as you possibly can. If guests aren't ready to book yet, the best way to sell them over time is email. The best way to build an email list is through lead magnets. Here are a couple bad lead magnets: a mysterious box that says subscribe for updates, a newsletter, and opt in for some unknown email list. Some good ones is offer a discount, experience add-on, voucher to a nearby restaurant, or gift cards. I'll expand on each one of them. Offer a discount, pretty straightforward. Offer 10% off, $100 off, a free night if they stay 2 or whatever, in exchange for their email address. Experience add-on, if they enter their email address, you will send them, whatever. It could be a code, or you could tag their reservation or something, and offer them a bundle of firewood and a s'mores kit, spa bundle, merch, personalized guide for things to do in the area, etc. So going back to, if your stay is a niche idea, and this is a true story. There's a guy in I think it's Tennessee or North Carolina. He has a place on a stream, and his house looks the same. It's in one of those like neighborhoods where, one developer kind of just built a bunch of different houses. And he decided to niche down on fly fishermen. Brilliant idea. You're right on the stream. And he's completely booked. And so I don't know if his lead generator is a personalized guide for his fishing spots, but that could be, think that deeply. Just like if you're, I'm from Minnesota originally. And so Minnesota, Wisconsin, everybody kind of does the same thing. So if you have like ice fishing spots in general, if you, one idea I've always had for like an outdoor base camp that attracts mountain bikers is like create a personalized route. Because I used to mountain bike. I'm more into the trail running stuff now. If somebody just told me the 10 best trails to run, and best is classified as like best views, or not super steep climbs, not rocky, like your absolute favorite trails, I'd give you an email for that. That stuff is valuable. So just think a little bit deeply. Don't ChatGPT the personalized guide for things to do in the area. If you ChatGPT it, just choose one of these other ones. Voucher to a nearby restaurant is another option. Same thing as like a gift card or a discount. You're just going to a nearby restaurant and asking, hey, can I have a voucher for some prospective guests? This works because in order for these prospective guests to use it, they have to be in your area. And if they visit, they need a place to stay. So win-win. Gift cards, same thing as a discount. It just feels more tangible, and you can use Gift Up to create gift cards. If you don't have a way to get leads on your website, you're missing out. Step 5, use the most transactional marketing channel. 99% of people who give you their email want to hear from you. That means they have the intent to book with you at some point. Over a month's time, send 2 emails talking about best dates to book, things to do, upcoming deals or promotions, and paint those emails with photos, because that's what got the guest's attention in the first place. I say these 3 things because they're the 3 email topics that work best for us. Expanding on each, best dates to book, tell readers what dates to book, and give a good reason why. Peak fall foliage, start of fall foliage, end of fall foliage. Maybe there's a 1% chance of the eclipse coming. Just kidding. Don't like bend the truth like that. If there's a decent chance, eclipse. If you're way up north, Northern Lights, nearby festival, even if it's not a big deal, just mention the festival. Things to do. Share your favorite things to do, kind of like the hidden secrets that I just talked about. Or if you don't have any of those, tell people where to eat and why. And some things you do share should be like paid stuff. So like restaurants or museums, anything else, shopping. And some should be free. So trails. What else is free? Not a whole lot's free. Local attractions. I had some property in northern Wisconsin, and the world's largest muskie statue is there. And so that's painted, as you can imagine, that's painted all over the short-term rentals website. And then upcoming deals or promotions. So if you run deals, give people a heads up, and then obviously send emails while the deal's going on. Once you start making money from email, send 3 per month, then 1 per week. Because if you're not making money, if you're making money per email, why not send more? All right. Step 6. How to run meta ads for bookings. Here's why I love meta ads so much. And Meta is Facebook and Instagram. That's the parent company to both. Social media is the best marketing channel to target people who are interested in what you sell but aren't searching for it. Channels like Google, OTAs, Airbnb, VRBO, etc., require a guest to actually be searching for a place to stay. The number of people who are searching is much smaller than those who are interested in what you have to sell. Plus, I'd imagine your Airbnb or hotel is off the beaten path from a popular attraction. Do you think a lot of people are searching for places to stay near you? Nope. Therefore, Google Ads, OTAs probably aren't going to fill up that booking calendar. It's purely a demand issue, which is one of the easiest issues to solve. One of the simplest issues to solve. Nothing's really easy. With Facebook ads, you create your own demand. This is why they dominate. There are 3 ways to structure a Facebook ads campaign. 1 is brand awareness, 2 is purchase, 3 is both. Option 1, brand awareness. If you don't know who is interested in your stay, what part of your stay they love, where they're coming from, why not they book, etc., choose this. You have a lot of unanswered questions that only data can answer. Brand awareness is the cheapest to do that. One question I got asked in the last session. Brand awareness, like I'm calling it brand awareness, purchase, both. This is the actual title of the campaign type in Facebook ads. So you can directly translate the terminology. I think Meta calls it just awareness campaigns. And then I think they call a purchase campaign a sales campaign. But that's the terminology they use within the platform. With a brand awareness campaign, you are chasing followers and leads because these 2 metrics are where the bookings get sold. Then you have your purchase campaign. Choose this if people are familiar with your concept or stay type, or as the 2 best ways I can identify those that term. If you're near a popular area, if you have a campground, most glamping nowadays works. People are familiar with it and love it. Hotels, lake cabin, beach house. Expanding on that, if I had a 5-bedroom hilltop mansion in Mason, New Hampshire, which is about 2.5 hours from where I live, I would not choose a purchase campaign. Few people book mansions, and I've never heard of that area until now. Therefore, that concept is unfamiliar and requires more touch points. If I owned that mansion, I would have to, people need to really get warmed up to the idea of renting that place for a while. But if I had a 2-bedroom seaside cottage outside of Acadia National Park, I would go straight for the purchase. Most people do book 2-bedroom stays. Almost 4 million people go to Acadia each year. so it's familiar. I say all this to say purchase ads are very expensive to run. And if that money isn't coming back quickly, you'll rack up quite a bill. And then you have my favorite campaign structure, because there are always hybrids, and most of our clients are in this situation. The type of stay is familiar. So it's a glamping, seaside cottage, nature resort, but the location is not. So we do this. 50% of the budget goes to miscellaneous brand awareness tactics. 50% goes straight for the purchase. And then after 2 to 3 months, if most bookings are coming from brand awareness efforts, like I said, we're going for leads and followers. So if most bookings are coming from our email list, we will focus more budget there. Or if most bookings are coming straight off the ad, hot off the press, we will allocate more of the budget to the purchase. So if you have no clue where to start, I'll make it easy for you. If your stay is under $450 a night within 30 minutes of something popular, you could even stretch that to an hour, maybe. Go straight for the purchase. And if that's not you, choose brand awareness or both. Step 7, the final step. Partner with a niche-specific influencer to grow faster than you might be comfortable with. This is a science. Influencer marketing is a science. It's not easy, but it's a very simple science. Some rental operators write off influencer marketing as a gamble with each creator, and that's that. If you treat it as a gamble, it will be a gamble. But if you're joining this webinar, it's not gambling when you know you're going to win. For us, it's a science. How to find the perfect influencer. Step 1, identify your perfect guest, which you already did. Find influencers who are in that niche and then hire them. So to identify your perfect guest, really nail step 1 of this training, because as you can tell, it translates. It actually translates to everything, I think, except for the budget. Yeah. So you do have to, that's why it's step 1. This is in order. So step 1, yeah, you got to figure out who you're talking to. Otherwise, what do we have? 400 million people in the US. That'd be expensive to hit them all. Step 2, how to find influencers that are in that niche. Before you go down the rabbit hole of finding influencers, make sure that they have over 10,000 followers and their engagement rate is 2 to 4%. Fake followers are also very popular among influencers, if not guaranteed. So I would recommend using Modash, linked right there, to find an influencer with a lot of fake followers. I think if they have more real followers than fake, you're okay. Because for example, let's say they have 20,000 followers and a 2 to 4% engagement rate, but 50% of their followers are fake. They still have 10% or 10,000 followers. So, math. The creators you partner with don't need to be focused just on Airbnbs and hotels. If 3 out of 10 posts are from an Airbnb, you're safe, but they do need to be focused on local hospitality. So restaurants, events, fairs, carnivals. I've seen car dealerships. That was weird, but it worked. Yeah. Since my perfect guest is families from Nashville, I don't want to hire, I see this pretty often. I don't want to hire a young hip creator from Boston who sometimes lives in a van. Because those young hip creators are the ones that will message you first. They're the ones that travel from coast to coast and find every hidden corner of the United States. It won't work. They're way too broad. So instead, you'd want to hire a female creator from Nashville who travels with her family. It doesn't matter if that person only has 15,000 followers, because all 15,000 are probably your perfect guest. That's why understanding your perfect guest is so important. You can find influencers using tools like Hype Auditor. I've linked it right here. Otherwise, if you naturally get hit with one on Instagram, like 10 to 15 other posts, and the algorithm will just naturally feed you more over time. So this is kind of in reverse order. I like this one is my favorite way to get influencers, number 2 and number 3. And so number 3 is run a meta ad for leads at $5 a day for 30 days with the headline, "Are you an Airbnb creator in the hospitality space? Collaborate with us." and then have the form that they go to essentially just be like, we're looking to niche down with families from Nashville. Is that you or not you? This is not a volume game. You realistically need like 12 creators a year. And you will get creators to apply for like 50 cents. And so just have the application or intake form, have that be pretty detailed, so people know if they're the right fit or not without you having to go through hundreds of applications. And then obviously step number 3 is hire them. Influencers they range in price. Some just want a free vacation. Others make a living doing this and can charge $2 to $3 grand per visit. I would recommend starting small just to get your training wheels off so you know how this relationship works, and then build up from there. So $1,500 or less, ideally free, just so you know how that relationship works. And then if they try to charge you for the content that they took, that's fine too. And in order to capitalize on this engagement, there are 2 things you'll want as a deliverable from this hire. Thing number 1 is the content, raw or edited, and a collaboration post or 2 on Instagram. When you're talking to these influencers, this is why they're doing it. This is why they're an influencer. They're going to capture content. Be very clear that you want that content, even if you have to pay for it, because it will save you tons of money or time down the road when you do need content. Some creators I've worked with will give me everything unedited. Some will just give me the best clips that they got. Don't care. I don't want to have these people visit my Airbnb or hotel, capture themselves living the most perfect life, and not be able to use it for future content. And then a couple notes on the collaboration requirements. And a collaboration post, have you ever seen those posts on Instagram where it's 2 people post it? That's what the collaboration post is. So your followers can see their account and vice versa. This is the promo part. So this is where the promo happens. Followers roll in, and I've seen bookings skyrocket as a result from just this key aspect. So make sure to use the language collab post or partner post when negotiating. Don't know what that means. And then if you really want to make your numbers go boom, do a giveaway with the influencer to excite the raving fans. Couple, asterisks on that one. Some people just like giveaways for giveaways' sake, and we're never really interested in staying with you anyways. And so your vanity metrics will look great with this, but it might not be super targeted on people who would actually book and stay with you at some point down the road. Okay, let's recap. Here's what you learned: how to identify your one customer, how to set a budget, how to get thousands of people to give you attention on social media, how to capture that attention with lead generators, how to use the most transactional marketing channel, how to run meta ads for bookings using the 3 campaign structures, and how to partner with niche specific influencers to grow faster than you might be comfortable with. Here's my recommendation for beginners. If you want to take this a step further, do the $1 challenge. Pretty easy. Make your first $1 from the internet. Your weekly tasks in order to achieve this would be post 3 times on Facebook and Instagram, write 1 email promotion, check in on your ads, and find 3 new influencers you could work with. You don't have to send the email, and you don't have to reach out to the influencers, but it helps build that marketing muscle. If you do these things, you will make your first dollar from the internet. I promise. I totally skipped over the monthly tasks. I'm sorry. Monthly tasks is actually to send those 2 to 4 emails. Start with 2, work your way up to 4. Reach out to 3 new influencers. So if you every week find 3, the goal every month is to reach out to your favorite 3. Capture 15 to 30 new videos at your property and create 15 social media clips and ads from those videos. If you do these things, you will make your first $1 from the internet. I promise. If you want more support, try this. Back in the day, I was a personal trainer. I thought the business model was education focused. It was pretty simple. People don't know how to work out. I teach them how to work out. They now know how to work out. The truth, most of my job was being a paid friend. My clients could easily look up workouts online as they watch and just watch as they do in the gym. Education was not scarce. YouTube, Instagram, it was all there. This is what they really wanted. Affirmation that they were doing the right things, conversation aside from their typical life, a mentor, and a gym experience so good that they could end up getting addicted to fitness and continue this habit for life. It worked. Because I remember working with a lady who had tried to come in the gym on her own for 3 years. We'll call her Abby because that's her name. Little progress in those 3 years was made, and this was in Wisconsin, and people like beer there, and so it's like Wisconsin's kind of. I don't really need to get into that. People like to have a good time in Wisconsin, and that good time is usually not super healthy for you. And then she and I worked together. The first 6 months, she changed t-shirt sizes, so she downsized. Otherwise, I would not be a good trainer. Doubled, if not tripled, her strength. Was happier and got a promotion at work. All with one small change. Human support. I'm the same way. When I wanted to start a newsletter, I joined a newsletter group, still in it today. This newsletter is 2.5 years old. Right now, I'm training to qualify for the Boston Marathon. I know how to run. It's pretty easy, step by step. But I hired a trainer to make me feel bad if I slack. As a result, I'm faster than I've ever been. I even had a bad run last night. And a bad run a year and a half ago is like, you could almost probably walk faster. I was still cooking, even though it was bad last night. When I decided to start building a hybrid learning program, I joined a mastermind. I know I can learn all this stuff for free, but accomplishing goals is way better with people who are doing the same thing because they push you. You see them successful, and half of you wants to feel the same. The other half of you is just like, yeah, it's I don't know, it feels kind of tribal, like a team. So if you agree with all this rambling that I'm doing and want to get direct bookings in 2026, want to meet people in the same situation as you, want support from me and my team, join 100K Stay. A couple quick notes on what this is. It's everything you need to get your own guests from the internet. It's a 12-week, 90-day hybrid training program that includes 6 one-on-one training sessions, weekly Q&A calls with me, 25 templates that you can just plug and play into your business. So some templates include like an email template that's like Mad Libs, a ChatGPT prompt to help you create emails, headlines where you just replace the X with your unique situation. So one headline is this perfect lakeside, or this is a perfect X retreat for X. And then you just take those headlines and put them on your videos. And all these headlines are stuff that we've tested that have made us money. And access to everyone else in the group, which are STR operators, hosts, and managers. And then you will have a curriculum of on-demand, in-depth videos on the technical stuff. You might even meet a friend in this group, especially if you guys are in the same town. After driving millions of views, hundreds of thousands in bookings, we're sharing our systems. Every host needs to grow. Without OTAs like Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, etc. If you want to build your own booking machine in 2026, but can't hire an agency to do it for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 per month, this is for you. OTAs are stressful. 1 year, you're killing it. The next, you're profiting a couple bucks every month. The best way to relieve that stress is to build a brand, find customers, move them to book, and own your bookings. This is what you unlock when you join 100K Stay. 6 one-on-one training sessions valued at $2,500, weekly Q&A calls with me valued at $2,000, 25 templates. This is something we'd sell for $2,000. $1,000 is what we would sell access the community for, and on-demand in-depth videos on the technical stuff for a total value of $7,500. But your tuition is just a fraction of that. 1 or 2 extra booked weekends can and more than likely will realistically cover your investment. And if it's not for you, I'll give you your money back if you just let us know within 30 days. I'm not going to ask any questions. If you hate it, I'll just give you your money back. Because I want you to either love it and use it to transform your STR business, or not feel like you have to do it because you spent the money on it. You risk almost nothing by joining. This is the cost of a 100K stay. It's $800 today, $100 per week for 12 weeks. Total cost over the 90-day, 12-week period is just $2,000. Since you joined this training, this is the bonus I promised at the start of this whole thing. I'll give you 1 month free, $400 off. Enrollment ends Sunday, January 18th, this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There were 50 spots available. There's less available now because this is a tight-knit group. I want to make sure everyone who invests gets the support that they need. So you can go to www.get100kstay.com. It will also be linked in the emails you are getting in 15 minutes time, maybe 30 minutes time. And you can use code SCOTT to get that $400 off. Like I said, you will get all this stuff linked, sent to you in 20 to 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes. It's going to be between 0 and 30 minutes from now, or 40 minutes. But I think it's going to be 30 minutes. If you're interested, have any questions, email me at scott@getlodgesocial.com. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. And I hope that you join. I'm super excited to talk about 100K stay. I think it's going to be super helpful for a lot of hosts who like to do they like to execute their own strategies. They're DIYers. They want to be responsible for their own success. That's what we built 100K stay for. And if that's you, I think you should join. I don't know when we will open it back up. We will open it up. We will open enrollment again this year, but it might not be until the fall. Could be Q2. We're still trying to figure that out because it kind of depends on how this first round goes. So if you're a host that likes to DIY your own stuff, learn the knowledge that you can have forever rather than outsource all this to an agency that they'll teach you a little bit but not that much, join 100K stay. Again, if you have any questions, scott@getlodgesocial.com. Thank you for joining this webinar. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this, and I'll see you in the next one.